one of the key strategy the elites, the people who want size power have been using is cost perception. The strategy consists in getting you to perceive that something has no cost and only benefits. And you need to distinguish the perception versus the reality. This is what they want you to perceive. So they want you to perceive that, for instance, their solution, what they ask you to do, what they propose you to do, has a high benefit and has no cost. And that has been the case, for instance, with the healthcare procedure, vaccination that they ask you to do. Only benefits, no cost. This is what they wanted you to perceive, right? And this is the same for when they ask people, for instance, healthcare professionals to participate. Only benefits, where you're making a lot of money by injecting people, and there's no cost, right? You are not liable or something like that. And you want to start identifying these strategies. So when they basically propose you to do something, look at how they position the benefits and the cost. I'll give you another example. For instance, they will do the same with central bank digital IDs. There will be central bank digital currencies, where only benefit is extremely convenient. You can pay with your phone, you get a credit every month and stuff like that. And there's no cost, right? Look at this, there's no cost. But in the reality, actually, when you look deeper, there's actually a high cost and no benefit. Of course, they reverse the perception for you to adopt their solution. So, in terms of strategy, how can you play with that? Well, for instance, healthcare professionals which perceive high benefit of injecting people, they were making a lot of cash per hour and no cost because they thought that it's okay. Or if they knew that it's not okay, they thought they couldn't be caught. The system will not get them to be accountable, responsible, liable for what they did. Start changing the game. What do? Cost benefits. Well, you start increasing the cost. You start increasing the cost and play on perception of the people. Well, what about going to Pfizer's office and you arrive in the open space and you start talking to the employee about, well, what if we get caught actually for what we did? Oh, do you think only our boss is liable, or are we liable as well? Well, you start getting people to be interested in what's the real cost, right? And as you play on their perception, and that should be also the reality, because to an extent they'll be liable for what they have done, then the cost perception balance that each person has of what they did start changing. And then if the costs start to outweigh the benefit, what happens? If the cost of something start to outweigh the benefit, so for instance, you like to spend time with your neighbor, but your neighbor start to use so much of your time that the cost start to outweigh the benefit. Well, you change your habit. You change, your mindset is changing, and you start changing your behavior. So this is exactly what you want to trigger. You want the people to start changing their behavior. And the strategy earlier, which was basically they arrive with their solution, it's only benefit, no cost, start changing, right? The people start perceiving a higher and higher cost and no benefits or negative benefits, and then change their behavior. So you want this to happen as fast as you can, right? So what are the actions that you actually can identify to strongly increase the cost, and especially the perceived cost, right? And reduce the benefit, or expose that actually there's no benefit to something. So this is one key strategy to play on. And I invite you to think about it. Not just in terms of action, where you can have identify a number of actions, but think about those actions from a strategy perspective, cost benefit. And cost benefit, it's valid for everyone. When you do something, when you make a decision, when you purchase a car, it's usually cost benefit, right? It's always like that. And there's an emotional perspective to the choice, right? This is why we talk about perception, because the perception is actually key. The perception of the cost of something can be very different from the reality.